Recap in minutes. Today we will be going through an action, war, and historic movie from 2006, entitled, A la Triste. There will be spoilers ahead in this video, so chill out and enjoy. The movie begins with a voiceover narration that sets the historical context. It is the 17th century and Spain is a great empire in decline, with constant wars and internal strife. The scene then shifts to the main character of the movie, Diego a la Triste, a courageous soldier in His Majesty's service, who is fighting the battle against the enemies of the empire, in the cold lands of Flanders in the winter of 1622. He commands the attack on the Dutch and kills many of their soldiers, burns their tents, and disassembles their cannons, but one of their men wakes his men by blowing the war horn. The Dutch started to come to their military establishment and retaliate. The group is overpowered by the Dutch shortly. They retreat from the battleground and run back to the water stream, from where they came. While on their return, in an ambush by the Dutch, one of his friends and comrade in arms, Lope Balboa, gets mortally wounded. He listens to a last request from the lips of his friend, and promises to fulfill it, that he will care for his son Inigo, and keep him away from a career as a soldier. 1 year later, A la Triste returns to Madrid and takes Lope's young son Inigo into his care. He keeps him with him all the time. Now he has taken him to a bar, where they all drink, but a teacher teaches Inigo the mathematics and the language. Moments later, a man waves at A la Triste to come outside. He comes and asks him what it is. He requests him to come with him, as someone wants to meet him and has a safe job for him. He tells him that there is no risk involved in the work, and he can earn good wealth. After some time, he takes him along with another man, Gualterio Malatesta, to another man in the black hat, Luis de Alcazar. He starts telling him that 2 foreigners will enter Madrid on horseback alone this Friday night. They have to kill them and they will be paid the remaining gold after completing the mission. A la Triste asks him who will confirm the dead bodies and pay the remaining amount. Emilio Bocanegra shows his face to them and says, he is the president of the Council of the Inquisition and that the 2 heretics must die. After that, they go and find the heretics at the entrance of Madrid. Diego a la Triste and Malatesta fight to kill them, but Diego plays a double role. He saves the heretics from Malatesta, saying that they have swords and fought well, so they cannot be the princes. The next moment, Diego is summoned to the palace. A secretary of the king, Conde de Guadalmedina, comes and warns him that he is in a fine mess, because there will be a roar in Madrid when the people know that their guests were attacked. He asks him who commissioned him, and he replies that he does not know them. Now he asks him who the other man was, and he says he hunts alone, he does not know him either. Conde gets up and asks why he did not kill them. He said he had an intuition and leaves the matter up to him. While on the other hand, the king is informed about the ambush on the Prince of Wales and the Prince of Buckingham. And they have ordered an investigation to find the culprits. He tells him that he has called the Council of the State, and the Committee of Theologians to give their opinion to him, regarding the possible marriage of Princess Maria and the Prince of Wales. The next moment, Diego a la Triste goes home and asks Inigo to get wine for him. He runs in the street to get that, but Angelica de Alcazar gets intentionally hit by him. She pretends that she cannot walk and asks him to carry her to her house. She asks about him and his uncle A la Triste. She was actually spying on him, and when she meets her uncle Luis de Alcazar, she asks him to not kill A la Triste at the moment, because she has her plans. After some time, some soldiers from the palace come into the market and spot Diego. They arrest him in the name of the Inquisition. One of the soldiers searches him for the hidden weapons, but leaves him with one tied to his ankle. They take him to the same president of the Council of the Inquisition, Emilio, who hired him to kill the heretics. He says he has aided the enemies of God in Spain. Due to his actions, he will face the worst torments in hell. But on earth, he will pay with his mortal flesh. When he comes into the street, he sees Malatesta and gets alert to fight with his hidden dagger. He says he is not there to kill him but to save him. He gives him his gun to defend himself from the unknown men. When they do not harm them, he takes his gun back and scratches him, saying that this will help him remember him. The next day, the secretary comes to him and says an important person wishes to see him. He asks him if the matter is worse, and he says he does not know, but the man is Count Duke Olivares. He asks him to be more honest with him than him. He notices his boots and says before visiting Olivares, he must buy some new boots. He says if he needs money for the boots, he can ask his finance assistant. The next day, he goes to see the man, but with the same boots. Olivares interrogates him, starting with his career as a captain in the army. Now he asks him if it is true that he saved the English travelers, when his companion was about to kill them. He wanted to know his recruiters. He says he does not remember anything, and he has a terrible memory. He says he can help him if he cooperates with him. Diego a la Triste ignores him. Now Olivares asks him if his boots are a sign of lack of means, or soldierly arrogance. He says he does both of these. Olivares summons Don Luis and orders him to go to the Indies to serve the king, while orders Alatriste to go to Flanders and win more battles for the king. He wishes him not to die here, as he is a brave and discreet soldier. He shows him the map of Flanders and asks him to help him understand that. He says it is a very strange land with strange people, who fear and despise them. Olivares orders him to get that land at any cost. The scene shifts to Breda in 1625, 1 year after the Spanish siege. Diego Alatriste is fighting battles with other soldiers. They are having a hard time finding the Dutch shooters in the trenches. When their captain comes with the new orders, a soldier stands up and asks him why they have not got their 5 months' pay. He says they all have not received the payment, neither the field marshal nor the General Spinola, but they are fighting continuously. He reads the orders that they have to go down to the tunnels. The next moment, they crawl into the tunnels and fix the bombs under the Dutch posts. Alatriste kills one of their soldiers when he sneaks to sea. They crawl back to the trench, where the captain comes and say, Breda has surrendered and they are victorious. 10 years later in Madrid, Íñigo receives a letter from Olivares. He gives it to Diego when they land there. He asks him what happened in Madrid while he was away fighting the war. He tells him about some past events in the country and his friends. He takes him to the opera and watches a play, where Íñigo wants to elope with Angelica, but she gets cold feet at the last moment. Alatriste has a romance with actress Maria de Castro. Because she was disappointed that she failed to marry him, she became the lover of King Philip IV. She shows him the large earrings which the king gifted to her. He says she doesn't know his love for her. But he cannot marry her, as she is an actress, but he will kill anyone who tries to approach her. And hence she will be a widow later. At night, friend and secretary of the king, Guadal Medina comes to see Diego again. He says they have to ambush a ship in the name of the king, which is full of gold. The ship, Virgen de Regla, has 2,000 ingots of undeclared gold. He informs him that before unloading, the ship will anchor offshore and transfer the boat to a Flemish boat. There they will capture them. After that, Diego Alatriste takes his men into a boat and sails towards the location of the ship. When they arrive at the ship, they face resistance. The crew of the ship open fire at them. Soon they overpowered them, killing their men. When they find the boxes of gold, they see clay bricks inside of it. They suspect a friend of Guadal Medina, who came with them there. They actually wanted them to kill the crew, so that they could kill them afterward. But Diego smartly draws his dagger and kills him first. In the next scene, Diego Alatriste and Íñigo talk about life, love, and betrayal. He says the man loves once or more but stops eventually. So be careful with Angelica, because she is a treacherous woman. After some time, he goes back to Madrid, where the king appreciates his bravery and fighting skills. He offers him a gold chain as a gift for visiting him. While on the other hand, Íñigo meets Angelica at night. She says she is a dangerous woman and lost most of the men who were close to her. He says it is not the same in their case. He expresses his love to her again. She forces him to join the military and become a royal guard at the palace. When he refused to take the vacancy, she said he is dead to me from that moment on and left. After some time, Alatriste goes to a gold dealer and shows her his gold chain, which the king gave to him. She says she cannot pay that much money to him, as it was very costly. He says he didn't come there to sell it, he wanted to exchange it with some other necklace. She says he could exchange this chain for several necklaces. He replies to her that he only needed one. She offers him her best necklace in exchange for that chain. He goes straight from there to meet his love and actress, Maria. When he reaches there, he sees another man from the palace there. He warns him that he should not chase her, as she is with the king. He plans to go to her other place to meet her, but a guard stops him and refuses to let him pass. He says she cannot and will not meet him. Diego gets angry and intends to fight with him. Eventually, they get into a fight there. Meanwhile, the king comes out of her house, she sees Alatriste, and closes the door. In the next scene, Angelica's uncle, Luis, tells him that he is going to arrange her marriage with the count of the palace, Guadal Medina. He also informs her that the king is thinking of removing Olivares and placing him in his place. She gets shocked and runs to her room and writes a letter to Íñigo. She tells him that the queen and her uncle want her to marry the count. But her heart is his alone and she wishes to run away to Naples with him. While on the other hand, Olivares receives a letter from the king, which states that his services are no longer required by the king. In the next scene, when Íñigo goes to her house to take her, she comes out in a hurry to go with him. But when she thinks of marrying a court man, she dumps him and goes back to her room. While on the other side of Madrid, a friend of Diego tells him that they have arrested their friend Don Francisco. The next moment they go to a gambling club, where they are taken to a gambler who is holding Inigo to pay his debt. He asks Diego to pay for him if he wants him alive. He offers him the necklace, but he says they are not experts in the jewels. His friend, Sebastian, gives him his gold coins and they get Inigo free from him. After some time, Diego was walking to go to meet Maria again, but some soldiers from the palace stopped him. He was drunk and warned them of severe consequences if they try to stop him. He fights with his old friend from the palace, Martin, and overpowers him eventually. When he moves forward, he stops Don Luis but leaves him alive. He sends Malatesta to fight with him. Both of the warriors fought well, but, this time, Malatesta defeats him and leaves him to die slowly. Soon, Maria appears from behind the walls of the palace and comes to Diego. She apologizes to him, saying that she was forced to be with the king, and to do this act of surrounding him in the palace. The scene shifts to Guadalmedina, and Don Luis. Luis shows him a paper of the demands for the dowry for his niece. He gets upset with his demands for silver mines and gets up. He asks about the death of Alatriste, but he says he is still alive. While on the other hand, Alatriste goes to a hospital in Madrid and visits Maria. He gives her the necklace and says it was made for her. She confesses her love for him this time, and says she should have married him. After that, he goes to see Angelica. He gives her a letter and requests her to give it to Olivares. He says it is about Inigo, who is in the galleys. She takes the letter and asks him to leave. When she weeps, he asks him to not, as Inigo is strong and he will survive. She says she must weep because betrayal is a stain that never ages. In the next scene, Diego meets Olivares when he receives the letter. It was about pardoning Inigo. He asks his favor to talk to the king to release him. At first, he ignores him, but when he yells at Olivares, he listens to him. The next moment, a guard comes and tells Inigo that he is free to go. They drop him into the ocean, and Diego gets him on the shore of some other part of Spain. Inigo also joins the military of the king and fights alongside Diego in Rocroi in 1643. Their regiment fights against the Dutch. He fights bravely against the heavily armed enemy. Diego, Sebastian, and Inigo fight the battle with the spears when they get overpowered by the enemy. After some time, they raise the white flag for peace. The representative of the Dutch forces praises their valor and techniques. He says he has come with the offer for their honorable surrender. Diego says they appreciate their words and says, this is a Spanish regiment and they will not surrender. They go back to the formations to fight again. Diego asks Inigo to hold the flag firmly, as they line up to retaliate the enemy attack. The movie ends with a narration again that, Alatriste was neither the most honest man, nor the most pious, but he was brave. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe Recap in Minutes for more videos like this, and help the channel grow.